mean, she has good intentions, but nevertheless, I don't really agree with what she's doing. I think, she has gotten a little too um, crazy in terms of information gathering. I think she's really good as as like a tech geek, but she should, for the sake of the character, they should hopefully change that so she gets out a little more and she's not always at the watchtower. Um, let's see what else about season 9. The I don't know what they're gonna do with the Kandorians now that blew up the tower. Someone I heard on Krypton site in the forum, someone said that, and I agree that the future that Clark was in Pandora is still going to happen, but they're going to get to it they're going to get to the same future just in a different way. I think that's true. Whether or not Aaliyah's from last night's episode at the end, she was killed by Zod after we find out she was the one that killed Jor-El. Whether or not, I mean, I assume she's dead because I think they cremated her at the end. They had a Kryptonian burial ceremony, which I think was pretty good to see. For the first time, we've never seen anything like that before, and it was nice to see part of the culture of Krypton. We've never seen it before, and hopefully they'll do it again. Or hopefully they'll just keep showing us more bits of information about the culture of Krypton. Zod got a little bit into the religious aspect of it, and I believe it was Absolute Justice, where he was saying that, you know, Kryptonians, I think their religion is based more on science and the sharing of information and knowledge, whereas humans care more about hoarding knowledge for themselves. In terms of relationships, I think CW obviously appeals to a younger, preteen audience. I think season 9 has been good with the relationships, but it's been they focus too much on it. And they don't really, the blur is Clark Kent and his blur identity. I barely see him. In the beginning, they had him more often, but towards the middle and the previous episodes, they looks like they've been pushing against showing him more in the blur outfit, and they have him more in his civilian clothes. And the relationship between him and Lois is good to see from the standpoint that we all know that happens in the comics. It's nice to see Lois and Clark get together. It's just I'm getting a little annoyed over the having them constantly be together. It's getting a little annoying. I sometimes would like to see Clark by himself doing something like going after villains or stopping someone in whatever way, whether they're robbing a bank or whatever. I just would like to see Clark um, get out more instead of just being around with Lois. I don't know how they're going to resolve the fact that Lois in the comics doesn't know who he is until later on. Clark doesn't have the glasses, and it doesn't look like right now he doesn't have the glasses, and it doesn't look like he's trying to change his identity in subtle ways. What I mean by is in the comics, there's a certain way that he walks, a certain way that he tries to make himself look, as opposed to the more cleaner, the cleaner, more built version of Superman. I think in the Daily Planet, Clark wears clothes that are a couple times his size, so that it doesn't look that people don't see how bulky he is and the muscles that he's got. Because if they did, then they would have suspicions probably that he's could be Superman. I mean, I always thought it was ridiculous that it was only the glasses that um, hid his identity, but I don't know. Someone said that they may, towards at the end of the series, they may end up marrying off Lois and Clark. And I think, I mean, I wouldn't want to see it. I think everything is happening too fast, too quick. I mean, they should, if anything, have it towards the end of the series, or the end of the series, say like 5 years later or something like that, and they're getting together and they're getting married. Even that I wouldn't really like, but really Smallville's really put themselves in a hole with this. I don't know how they're going to resolve it. Hopefully they will. The writing's been pretty good. Hopefully maybe Jeff Johns can do something with that and resolve that. Um, I just hope they find a good way of sending off the characters at the end. I don't think season 9 is going to be the last. I think they will go into a season 10, but hopefully they realize that eventually the show has to end, and they give it a pretty good send off, because I think it's been 9 seasons already. If they go into a 10th, it'll be 10 seasons. Has a pretty loyal and pretty good fan base. Ratings have been pretty good for. I mean, they're not as good as last season's or even previous seasons, but that's because of the Friday night switch. Hopefully, they'll change that with the 10th season. I doubt that because of the leadership of the CW. But I just hope they give the show a great send off, because I think the fans deserve it. I think the show deserves it. 10 seasons, if they last that long, is something that TV series wish they could do, and hopefully hopefully they get all the best for that show. And that's my thoughts on season 9. I think it's pretty good so far. We're about halfway done with the season. Soon I'll be putting up my episode reviews of the last couple of episodes. I think the second one will probably be Absolute Justice. This is my first time doing a video by myself. I'm actually in another channel called World of Pro Wrestling. I don't know if any of you remember my face or my voice. I'm in the channel with a friend of mine, and check us out, and tell me, comment, subscribe, tell me how I'm doing, tell me what I could do better, tell me what I'm doing wrong, and I'll see you later, YouTube. Take care. Bye.